Hey everyone, it's your boy Maddox here, and today I'm bringing you a video on to B split with Cypher. Okay, now this is going to be for more of you players that are beginner or intermediate when it comes to Cypher, right? You know the standard spots where you put your cages, you know your trips, you know the one ways, you know the ones where they're gonna likely run into it, right? So now I'm going to show you guys a little more advanced placements to maybe help you not just hold B, but also help your teammates in mid. Because mid is such a central figure of this map, because as a defending side, if you can hold down the mid area, you limit exactly where the attackers can go, right? They either go through B main or they go through A ramps, right? But on attacking, if you take mid, you can easily split back to B, right? Or you can split through A. Okay, and so it's a very important part where both sides want to play it. Now today I'm going to show you guys some advanced trips, cameras, and cages, more of the trips than the cameras, right, in order to help the mid guys out. So watch this. We're going to start with the pistol round setups, and then we'll take it from there. Alright guys, so now I'm going to show you kind of the pistol round setup that I like to go to. This is my go-to pistol setup, right? And it's really dependent on who you're playing against, right? Now if there's a jet, I'll run this about 90% of the time. Anyone else, it really depends, right? Because I would say in my experience, at least 75% of the time, the attackers will go towards A. For some reason they find A to be easier. Honestly, on attacking, if you're going against a Cypher, the best time to attack a Cypher is probably pistol round, because more than likely he's not going to get full utility. I know I don't get full utility. Some people might, but from what I've seen, I think it's a lot easier just to go B. But anyways, if I'm going against a jet, right, a lot of people like to put their trip right here, right? Make sure you crouch down, laser in your face, so they can't crouch under it, right? A lot of beginners, a lot of intermediate players like to play it right here in the beginning of the round, which is fine, right? If you have to leave the bomb site, it covers it. But we're not playing for that. Sometimes they'll do this one. If you do this one though, they can easily jump over it. But I like to do this. First beginning of the round, I like to put my trip right here. A lot of people see this one a lot, right? But when I'm going against a jet, I put this here 90% of the time. Why? Because as a jet, right when they get to the entrance here, right, maybe they take out your camera or whatever, they don't see your camera, they're gonna dash in. And usually when they dash in, they're gonna run and look this way, right? Because more than likely, the Cypher or whoever's playing B Heaven will be over here. And then once they get like around here, they'll be like, oh, okay, I have to clear this corner. Okay. And so hopefully they don't suspect that your trip's right here. They run into it because, again, they're entering in. They're not really worried about the trips. They're worried about clearing corners so their teammates can trade them out if there is someone in a corner. All right. So this covers the trip section of it for this pistol setup. My second thing I like to do is my cage. So I usually go a ghost, right? So ghost 500, I have 300 left, 200 for a trip. And then for my cage, I like to put right here. Okay, and then normally I'll put my camera in the standard spot right up here. A lot of people should know this one, and I will usually play in this corner. Now what happens is they'll see my camera up here, or maybe they're all rushing in, right? They're running in, and I just tag someone up, boom, pop the cage, let them run in, headshot them. Okay, this is a very standard pistol setup for me. I don't know if anyone else runs it like this. You probably do. All right, if you're an advanced user, intermediate user, maybe you like to run it like this. This is something I like to do. I know a lot of people don't run it like this. And how about you guys check out this clip and kind of see how it works out? I'm not peeking.
Probably holding garage right now.
They smoke to get close.
Oh, one more.
No hard feelings.
One's in the smoke.
One enemy remaining.
My last guy was
One
marked.
down B. Rotate.
Flawless.
There you go.
Good round.
Alright, now that you saw that video, right, the jet dashed in, looked towards Heaven, because again, that's the most immediate threat she's got to face. Okay, and then, I kill her, and then the other guys, thankfully, I didn't need to use my cage there. I didn't have it down. She used her own smoke. I was able to get, another 3 kills off of that. Okay, so that's kind of how that's supposed to be played out. Right, now let's go to a different setup to maybe where they're not, going through B main. So let's say you put the standard B split here, and then you use the cage right here, okay, and your camera's wherever you want it to be. They start coming through Heaven, right? Now a lot of the times, people will like play right here, or a lot of times I should say, a lot of people will fall back. Oh, they give up B Heaven. All right, let me fall back, pistol around. Like, I want to play it safe. A lot of times I see a lot of Cyphers playing scared. Okay, you don't necessarily have to play it scared. If you know there's a lot towards heaven mid area and they're coming towards B, right? Obviously, you know, I would hold this once I know, like, okay, off the timing, right? Maybe they killed my sage or someone up here right away. Okay, they didn't drop down. I pop my own cage to cover me from that angle. See if B mains come in, boom. All right, see if I get a pick off. And as soon as time this is about to run out, right, I get a little bit closer and, you know, start jiggling, you know, start limiting what angles I'm exposed to, and just making sure I can, you know, take the one-on-one battles. Because again, as the anchor, you know, if you can play around your own utility, you know, it makes it so much easier for you. You know, limiting how many angles you're exposed to, it just makes it like 10 times harder to kill you. Okay, and if you can get this down, right, then you're gonna find that it's a lot easier to hold the site from playing like around here, right, than it is from playing in CT, where they know if you're CT, right, they can just wall you off or smoke you off and you kind of get scared, right? If you're around the pillar, right, if you know how to play around the pillar, if they all come through the raptor side, drop down, you can easily just come back around this way, right? Maybe pick a guy off, right, try to listen, see where they're going. All right, they're going this way, walk around. Okay, now thankfully in the clip I'm about to show you, no one came through B main, but like I said, I would usually put this cage here, pop it, see if anyone's coming B main, right, and I'll take these one-on-one battles. All right, so enjoy the clip and just kind of watch and see how I do.
On rafters.
Cage triggered.
Cypher's on raft.
Headshot.
He dropped. I got him.
One enemy remaining.
All right, so we watched that clip. Some of you might be saying, "Hey, the Mandix, that's not a setup. Like, how are you supposed to know when to do that? Like that. This is just, again, it can't be a setup. Sometimes it can be. Sometimes, like, but it just really depends on, you know, what kind of read you're getting and if you're paying attention about what's going on around the map. Okay, if you're not paying attention, if you don't know, obviously if you're back here and your stage is like they're going heaven, but you're like stuck, you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna kill these guys when they come on B and they swing on you. Obviously, you know, you're kind of dumb, and there's nothing that can be done about that. But let's say if you are paying attention, you're like, oh shit, they're coming B heaven. All right, let me jiggle peek this. Right, my trip's here, I'm fine. Okay, let's see what's going on. Are they out heaven? Oh, they are out heaven. Okay, let's maybe hold here. Boom, boom, pop my cage and come around. All right, you guys seen that? Now let's get onto the gun rounds here. Those like what I just showed you were like the pistol setups I like to do or how I like to play around it, right, just based on what's going on. But like I said, 75% of the time you're gonna be rotating to A. It happens, okay? But you know that 25% of the time they do come to you on these pistol rounds, you got to be able to lock it down. Now let's go to the gun round setups. I'm gonna show you guys a couple different trips, a couple different cages that I like to use kind of to change up, you know, how you play the B bomb site. Now, like I said, a lot of people, once you get to a high enough level, they always expect the trip to be here. So you'll see them shooting their guns all around here, trying to break it. They know about this trip right here, right? So again, they'll try to get close. They'll try to see your camera up here, right? Come down, boom, pre-aim this, shoot it. Again, look close, try to look for the trips, right? And then, you know, destroy them for you. Now, once you're out of your trips, right, you kind of get a little flustered. I know a lot of beginner intermediate players, they get flustered once their trips or their camera's down. They don't know how to play off of that. Okay, so let's get to a little bit different here, and let's use our trips not to help us, but to help our teammates. Now, the first trip I'm going to show you is, you know, this isn't like some kind of genius movement or genius trip placement spot, right? But this is to cut off their movement, okay? And this is right here, CT stairs, you know, B heaven stairs. Why is this so important? Because when your teammates have to give up mid, a lot of the times we'll have one guy play here, one guy play the rafters, right? That's really dumb, okay? Because why do we have to have a guy hold here for CT, right? And a guy up here to hold up for the heaven drop down, and then, you know, your Cypher on B somewhere. Well, if we put this trip here, this guy can just play here without having to worry about them going to CT. Once my trip breaks, right, then like, hey, let's call another person over. But, you know, if it's not broken, this guy can chill here. This third guy can go rotate towards A, because, hey, what if they go through vents and go roast to A heaven, right? So like we're not sure which one he's going to go to. All right, so this is the point of that trip. Now the other trip is, again, beginner enemy, you guys might not know this. Some advanced guys should know this. You know, putting a trip down here in the vents area. Now I usually put it in one of two spots, about right here. It should be, you know, almost good. They could jump over that maybe, but usually when their vents they're rushing through, or they will break it. So obviously try to, you know, work it on your own, kind of where you got to line it up at. The other one is right here. Okay, when they come up, right, they're gonna run into this. Okay, and this is, again, so if you put this trip here, right, and a trip in CT, Obviously, you're not going to have any trips on B site, but that's fine. We don't care. Like, we'll be holding it with our camera. And this allows your third guy, who usually plays, you know, double up heaven or in vents normally, can kind of go off of what he feels they're going to go to, right? Are they making those A or B? He can start leaning that way. And when he comes through this way, right, if he thinks it's going to be, he doesn't have to go through here, right? He doesn't have to hold this because he knows there's a trip there. He doesn't have to worry about it. He can start stacking the B site. Same, likewise on A. Hey, if he knows they're going to go A, he doesn't have to cover the upper guys' ramps, right? He can double up. Maybe he can go on the Raptors here and crossfire with the guy on site. Or maybe he is coming to pick up the Raptors guys, you know, his A upper ramps, okay? So again, these are just a couple trips that, you know, are really beneficial, not just to yourself, right? Because sometimes they can, you know, have a teammate come extra and stack with you, right? So you guys can do some kind of setups, but it also helps your teammates so they're not really worried. They don't have to worry about getting pushed from, you know, one of these off angles, okay? Next thing I like to show you is a cage I like to play, and it's just right here. Sometimes I'll do double, sometimes I'll do one, but this is probably one of my favorite cages to do when I'm not doing like maybe the one way, or I'm not doing a double stack over here, right? And this is because it stops them, you know. Cages last like 7 or 8 seconds, so that's 14 to 16 seconds. You can literally stop them from coming up heaven, right? So let's say you're on your camera up here, right? You're just kind of holding. You have 2 trips over there somewhere. This guy's, you know, camera should be spotting B main. Oh, they're coming through heaven. Pop 1, okay. You know, maybe come peek around, see if there's someone deeper. All right, boom, they're still up there, just making noise. They don't know what to do because no one ever cages up there, right? The cage is just so good to stop them, and if they go through the cage, it makes a noise, so you know if they're in it, right? So again, let me just show you guys another clip, kind of how it looks like, and hopefully you guys kind of like what you see and incorporate into your gameplay.
They just dropped bomb mid.
Okay.
No.
They're not Mel yet, or they could be in Mel, but they're not up B heaven.
They just walled ropes.
They're in now.
I can blind to hold up. Heaven blind, heaven blind.
Cage triggered.
There's still this. He actually pushed
Where
me.
is everyone
Ropes.
hiding?
One was man.
All right, so just like we saw, right? It's there. Slow them down. They push in. I can hear it. I know. I look towards it, right? And so, you know, I popped the cage there. I peeked, you know, B main just in case someone was there. Killed the Reyna, right? I hear someone up there. Boom, pop, kill the Raze. Okay, very simple. Now, let me show you guys another setup I like to do, right? Again, I'll usually put always one trip heaven. You know, where you want for the second trip is up to you. But what I'll sometimes do is I'll do the double cage towards B main. Now, what is the point of this, you might be asking? Okay, this is so wait, when I'm spotting up here, right? If I have my camera in this, you know, very common spot, right? What do I want to battle, right? Right here in this instance, I want to battle heaven. So what's gonna happen is I see no one B main, pop the cage, right? Take this time, you know, to fight, right? See if I can fight anyone up here, right? They're coming down, they're coming out. Pop my second cage. Now your second cage doesn't have to be here, right? It can be back over here like we do pistol round. You know, you can double stack it over here again, right? So you can keep fighting from this angle without having to really worry too much about, you know, B main. He might spam you through. Obviously, you have to be aware of that. But again, like, we're trying to isolate what we're exposed to, right? Again, we don't want to overexpose ourselves to too many angles. We don't want to be fighting right here with a guy B main maybe and a guy, you know, heaven, right? So we're using our cages to limit their visibility in order to cut off angles that you're exposed to. Okay, so here, watch this another clip, right, and kind of see how it's done.
Joke's over!
All
You're
right.
dead!
Oh, they're going. Gross.
Oh, damn, bro.
Wait, are they coming
Heaven,
out?
heaven,
Okay.
This game kind of wild.
They fuck cage triggered.
They're pushing CT.
They're gonna come right out to me.
Cage triggered.
Come right out to you guys. Gotta peek it.
Bomb.
Put down.
One enemy remaining.
Alright guys, now for my final gun round setup, before I kind of go into more miscellaneous things that maybe you guys want to know or you know, maybe didn't know, right? But, you know, looking for ideas. I'm going to show you my retake setup that I like to do. Now, this is a very, you know,
Cage triggered.
very standard, like, I should say fundamental you should have down, knowing how to play a retake on a site. Because let's say they're taking A every time, so you guys are heavy stacking towards A, right? Because, you know, you have to put 3 guys there, one guy's playing mid spotting or something, and you know you're just playing a retake on B site because hey, we can give it up. We'll try to retake this. I'd rather have you stack towards A because we keep losing it. Okay. Now the initial placement that I like to do for all this is, you know, I'll put a cage there, and I'll put a cage here. Okay. And I'll show you the reason for that in a second. Then I like to put one trip here, and then you know your other trip. You can you know put like the heaven trip like I said, but I would probably put it here just so you know if they do go towards heaven, be heaven, you can kind of be aware from it. And I'll usually play like, you know, up here hell, right? I'll play, you know, behind the pillar, or if they have a stage in their wall, I might play around the wall. It just really depends on kind of what's going on here. But anyways, the point of this is we want to keep them confined to the site. A lot of times, maybe they do this in the lower levels. I haven't really played too much down there, but maybe they'll just stay over here, which is exactly what you guys want. Keep them confined, keep them in easy spots to where if we can throw our utility, we can flush them out. But, you know, more advanced users, what they're going to try to do is, once they get the site, they say, oh shit, look at Cypher's not here, we can just get the site for free. They're going to keep trying to get more, okay? Because they know that if they get stuck back here, if you have a Raze, you have a Phoenix, right? You maybe have an Omen with a good flash, right? Anything, Breach, for instance, too, right? Those characters that do damage, Sova, right? You guys get stuck in these corners, you guys are probably going to get destroyed by utility, okay? So my goal as playing retake as Cypher is, hey, I want to make sure they don't run in, and 90% of the time they're going to try to run through here. I'm going to cut them off with this cage, and you know it's just going to be easy pickings, right? And then once we get ready for retake, if you don't have a smoke up, maybe your Brim's out of smokes or your Omen doesn't have a smoke ready yet, right? You guys are ready to push in. Okay, let's push in, and I pop my other cage so I don't have to worry about B main, right? We just swing this together, right? Clear that, and then once you know this fades, then we worry about the B main guys, right? They try to push in, we'll hear them, but otherwise, you know, it should be a very easy retake. So I got another clip. I know you guys love these clips, so let's just watch it and kind of see how it gets played out. They're coming in B. 2, 3, 4, all 4.
Cage triggered. Caught one.
I could do retake.
Spike planted.
One back right.
Backside.
One enemy remaining.
Probably in the corner,
Yeah.
It was back right.
Alright, now that we watched all those clips, I'm just going to go over some miscellaneous stuff that I don't have any clips of, and it's going to be kind of like trip placements, cameras, etc. for the most part. So sometimes I actually like to put a trip here, in case you didn't know. Again, it just helps you if you have a cage here as well. You know, they hit the trip, bust the cage open, right? You know, make them panic a little bit, and then, you know, try to shoot them through the cage, obviously. So that's one. Obviously, you guys saw this one earlier. That one CT. You can always put one right here. Again, very standard thing. It's just to help you. It's just supposed to be an indicator, you know. You're not really going to try to capitalize off of it. It's just to let you know, hey, they are going this way. All right. One maybe you guys did not know is that actually you can put one right on this corner here. Boom. Right. So you let them go through hell, but you don't want them to go through rafters. This might help a guy that's up here, right? So this guy might be worried about, hey, what if they come down here, right? He doesn't want to go back and forth between up and down. If you put this cage up here for maybe your Sage or whoever else might be holding mid that comes and plays your Raptors, right? Lets them worry about one of the angles instead of both. If this gets, you know, tripped, obviously, he just flicks to it and kills the guy because he'll probably be looking for the trip to destroy it. Okay. Also, same thing can be done up here, right? Very, very simple. Again, this is maybe you're playing this, right? This setup, right? And you know they're not Raptors yet because they haven't broken this trip. So again, you can primarily focus on the hell and the B main guys. You have a cage here. Oh, great. Now you can just focus on the hell guys, right? Again, so these are just to help out. Now, some cameras I like to use. Whoops. Let me recall that. Okay. So this one actually helps if you guys are playing more giving up mid, right? Maybe you guys want to have a Sage on your team, right? And it's like, hey, I don't want to have to hold mid with like a Killjoy, a Sova, and like a Phoenix or something, right? That would be very hard. So instead, you offer maybe, hey, one of you guys op B. I'll put my trips in CT and vents, and then let me put my camera right here. This is a very good camera spot, and then you can play the Raptors, right? Because then you'll know when they're coming in. As long as some guy's holding your B main, you're fine. right? And you just get so much information here. If they decide to split A, right? Like you see them all. Hey guys, I got 4 in Mel. They're trying to come up, right? Or I don't see them Mel. Guys, get ready A, and your teammates can worry about that. So that's one spot. Now, if you use that spot a lot, because again, you have a bad lineup, you can always do the same thing up here, right? This one's always really good. I like right there. Boom. Again, just really good information to get. Now let's say you don't want to put it in there anymore. A couple places I like to put it is actually in here. It covers the same thing, right? So let's say you're, maybe you're playing like towards A, you're like not sure where to go, right? And you're just, hey guys, I'll hold you guys as vents. I'll let you guys know when they come in, right? You guys have someone play heaven, B heaven, someone play, hold my B main for me, or you could even put a trip B main and let that be your indicator, right? Unless you're going against like an Omen. Omen can TP around it, so just gotta be careful about that. But hey, maybe you guys put 3 towards A and then you're holding this, and just, hey guys, they're going down vents. I see 3 going down vents. Again, a very nice spot to have your camera at. And so the last spot I like to sometimes do as well, very rarely, is to cover vents again. But again, just put it right here. Just look straight down. Okay. It's good just, again, we're just trying to use our utility to help everyone else out. And the utility I showed you right here, for the most part, is going to help your teammate a bunch. Because I know a lot of Cyphers, they'll put all their shit over here, and it's not doing anything for anyone really. Besides, maybe this one obviously watches the mail room and B main, which is nice. But, sometimes it's nice to help all the other sides. And so the final camera I'm going to show you guys is one everyone should know, but sometimes they don't know, and this one is just as good as the camera right there. It's this one right here. So make sure you go as high up as you can before you hit the red. Right before it, jump, place it as high as you can, and boom, look at this. It's almost the same thing, it's just they're a little bit closer. And I would say 99% of the time this never gets shot down, and the only one time it is because there's a Cypher player that only plays Cypher and he knows about this spot. And actually, for those that are still in the video watching this, I got a little treat. This is one of my favorite camera spots as well. When I'm playing a retake, right, that's actually a really good camera spot. Just watch them all in, right? Hey guys, they're all coming in and they don't know where your camera's at. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching my video. These are all the little trips and little tips and tricks that I have for B side for Cypher. Hopefully you guys can incorporate some of it into your guys' gameplay and help your teammates out. I'll catch you guys in the next one.
Use your head, turn your back on me, get clapped and lose your leg.